Yoink! Yoink!
So the new box dropped yesterday, and we already got the expensive video out of the way. So now it's time to scrape the bottom of the barrel, or in this case the box, for those garbage free-to-play meme cards we are actually playing Duel Links for. We have been given Miracle Synchro Fusion, which is basically an identity crisis in card form, as it's a card that basically lets you fusion summon, but by only using synchro monsters. It's a strange concept, but thankfully due to synchro monsters generally being pretty hard to summon in the first place, the monsters we get to summon using this card are actually pretty goddamn jacked. So here's the deck list. This deck is based around two main boss monsters. Naturia, name I'm not even going to try and pronounce, requires two Earth Synchro monsters, and boasts a pretty decent stat line of 3200 attack. During either player's turn, when a singular card is targeted, you may discard a card to negate and destroy that effect, and this isn't a once per turn. The second boss is Goyo Emperor. Once again, a pretty decent stat line sitting at 3300, with similar summoning conditions. Only the materials needed are warrior monsters as well. Whenever a monster is special summoned by your opponent, you may tribute an Earth Warrior type synchro monster to yoink them to your side of the field. And whenever this card or one of your yoinked monsters destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you may steal that card as well. Now to summon these guys, it's actually extremely easy. All you need is the skill What Grows in the Grave to give yourself a Dark Verger in the grave, and any plant level 1 tuner monster. This is because whenever you summon your tuner monster, you'll be able to summon a Verger, which gives you the perfect materials to summon Goyo Defender. Goyo Defender allows you to special summon another copy of himself, meaning you will have two warrior type Earth Synchro monsters on the board ready to be fused. To fuse the monsters, you'll either be using Polymerization, or the new card Miracle Synchro Fusion, which is basically just a poly, only allows you to use your graveyard as well. Now there are a few little combos I would also like to mention with this deck before getting into the gameplay. First of all, Spore in this list happens to be a 1 card Wurm, which is something you can keep in mind, since it can simply summon itself from the grave with the two Goyo Defenders on board. Secondly, as long as you run a level 6 Earth Warrior Synchro, if you ever get Spore plus Miracle in your opening hand, you can summon Goyo Emperor plus a Synchro monster for tributing with its effect. Since you resurrect Spore and fuse it with one of the Goyo Defenders, which will simply put one of the defenders in the grave, where it can still be used as material with the other one. Of course, we are also running Descending Lost Star to resurrect defenders to use as tribute fodder as well. And finally, this one is pretty obvious, but if you happen to have Miracle and Poly in the same hand, you can easily summon both fusion monsters, as you can just use Poly to send the materials to the grave, and then use Miracle to use the materials once they're in there. Final thing I'll mention, this deck is actually extremely free to play. I know it does run 3 Spore, but you don't actually have to run Spore at all. All it needs is level 1 tuner plant monsters. So you don't need to run Spore, it's obviously just better for those little combos I just mentioned at the end there. Alright guys, that's basically it for the toying part of the video. The rest of the video is a bunch of gameplay showcasing the list in action. If you liked the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, comment if you have any questions or feedback, make sure to check out my Patreon, Twitch and Discord down below. And if you happen to have $1 lying around and wish to support me, feel free to click that join button down below to support me directly, as well as gain access to a few little neat perks. Enjoy the gameplay!
Duel! Duel!
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.